Hey guys, Novabush today and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about Ahsoka, as we just got the Falani in the UK. I guess it was at 2 a.m. or something, but I only just watched it probably midday today. And yeah, we're just going to talk about it. So let's get into this. So I'm not going to talk too much about what actually happened in this episode. I'm going to talk about overall my feelings on I guess that's the episode overall and the series and where we're going from here, where we might have gone, we should have gone, and some other stuff. So in the first place, I think this episode was okay. For Filani, it was quite a weak Filani. Not because there wasn't a lot of stuff happening. There was a lot of stuff happening. It's just that the things that were happening, where did they lead? Where did they go to? There's too much mystery to take from it. Now, someone who's watched pretty much all the series. I've watched all of the series. I've watched almost all the movies. The only movie I haven't watched is Solo. I just didn't feel like watching that. After The Last Jedi, I just wasn't feeling watching Star Wars. I skipped it. And I've watched all the Clone Wars many times over. You know, for me, I definitely knew at the end, seeing the primordial, the father, the son, and it was interesting seeing the statue of the daughter being broken as, she's dead. And the implications of that, we never saw the implications of that really in the Clone Wars. And it seems like we're going to be seeing it in the Ashoka show and possibly in the movie that combines all of, Ahsoka, the Mandalorian, and so on all together. Now, the problem with this episode and a couple parts of the series overall. Now, the series overall for me, I'm going to say I think the series is good. And at some parts, fantastic. Episode 3 to 5 was some of the best Star Wars I've ever witnessed. I was enjoying it immensely. 3 weeks in a row was just incredible. Episode 6 was cool. I mean, we got to see some more interesting stuff. We got to see the Witches of Dathomir. We got to see Thrawn. We got to see this new planet. Interesting stuff. We got to see Ezra, and the person who plays Ezra is really good. But despite seeing all these cool things and all these cool plot points, there's always something missing in between. And some people might say, the dialogue is bad and, it has bad direction. And I don't think that's it. I think the direction is actually really good. The ideas in the show are fantastic. They're bringing in some of the real core Star Wars themes and also adding in stuff from the Clone Wars, Rebels. If you're a big Star Wars fan, you know about them, which is great. And then on top of that, they're coming to Legends and taking stuff from Legends and implementing it into the main canon, which is great because what Disney did to Legends was terrible. Now some people say, "Oh, the bullshit from Legends. Why are you bringing Legends?" I'm like, what's wrong with Legends? Legends has some absolute fantastic stories and themes. Like I remember going back to the devs, just listening to them. I'm just going to talk, just listening to them on YouTube. People talking about them. It was so fantastic and fascinating. You get so much more than you do get in the main. Now, I'm not sure why people are so against Legends. There's some stories might not be the best, but I mean, you get that in many instances of things. You don't always get 10 out of 10. Sometimes you get 9, sometimes you get 8s. And sadly, sometimes you get 7s. Ideally, if they're pushing more for the 8s and 10s and 9s, and even if there are 7s and 5s, if they can bring them up into higher quality stories and placements in the franchise, then power to them. Do it. Use the resources you have. Like, why not? But the problem is that isn't that the dialogue is bad. It's not. There's not enough dialogue. Like, it leaves a lot to mystery. Why did Ezra and Thrawn not have complications with each other? The Witches of Dathomir. Okay, Thrawn resurrected them, but how? What's Thrawn been doing with all his stormtroopers on this planet all this time? What's he planning to do when he goes back? I'm guessing from the episode. I think it was episode 3 in season 3 of Mandalorian, which is a great episode. I actually love that episode. I know a lot of people were bored about it, but I thought it was fantastic. With there's still people in the Empire who are deep rooted in the Empire, and they still loyal to them, and they're within the Republic now. So I guess he's going to be using those people as insurgents to cause some type of havoc from within, which is interesting, definitely really cool. But we need to see more about why and how, and a bit more of like how the characters react to each other. Like the fact that Sabine, she made a deal with these, dark Jedi, but she never talked about that with Ezra. She never really talked about it much with Ahsoka. Ahsoka and Anakin, they still did. I mean, it was a fantastic, superb, almost perfect episode. The only way it could have been better was if there was a bit more dialogue, a bit more to it. Not leaving stuff so nuanced. Nuance is fine in doses, but I think there was definitely a bit too much nuance. People didn't really understand what the message was at times. Unless you really thought about it, you could understand, okay, the message is, keep fighting. You're not just because I became Darth Vader doesn't mean you're gonna become Darth or Dark or gonna fail in the same way I did. You can proceed and do a lot in your own right, but it wasn't on the nose enough. Like I did say in my review of episode 5, or was that 5? And I think that's where the episode fails. It's mostly on, not fails, I'm gonna say falls short, because I think this series has the potential from all the stories, ideas, and plots and characters. The people, Dave Filoni knowing so much about Star Wars, it had the potential to be a 10 out of 10 Star Wars show. Maybe not a 10 out of 10 show overall, but 10 out of 10 Star Wars show. And I think for me, it sits between a 7 and an 8, probably more like 7.5, 7.8. Those 3 episodes were fantastic, so I'm actually thinking maybe an 8. But it could have been so much better, which I think is frustrating. I think it leaves a lot of fans frustrated that it could have been so much better, or just better, if they had more dialogue. I think the dialogue was fine that was there, but more of it, a bit more explanation, a bit more, understanding of what these characters want to do, how they feel about situations, rather than it being left, in the air, and people watching YouTube videos to kind of explain why things are the way they are. Now, even though I say that, I'm kind of struggling between the two. That some people say that, they don't understand what's going on. Why should they watch Clone Wars, a series, blah, 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 that's, for kids. It's like, well, this is a long series. This is a long franchise going on from like 40 years ago. Saying that is like saying, why should I, someone coming in to watch episode 6 and I'm not understanding about, Darth Vader being Luke's father, like, and saying, why should I care about this? Why is the Emperor here? Why can't you just kill him? He's just some old guy, blah, blah, blah. Like, if you just watch episode 6, you wouldn't understand episode 5 and 4. You wouldn't understand the struggles they went through, the training that Luke went through, and what happened to his auntie, his uncle, and his friends, and the Death Star 2 coming back. It wouldn't mean as much to you. And that's just a fact of the fact that if you don't watch the Clone Wars and Rebels, this isn't going to mean as much to you, and you're going to miss things similar to in that situation. It's just how it goes in franchises like this that are so long with so much different stories coming together. Now, they definitely could have done a better way of just explaining, bits and pieces, the main bits and pieces, and maybe even, like I said before, doing an episode 0 where they go over, the main plot points, just to let people know what this show is about before they get into the show, so they're prepared to watch the show. But they didn't do that, which is unfortunate. But I think that would have definitely helped to some of the casuals who don't watch that much Star Wars, who are just watching, the series they see in Disney Plus, the live action ones. I don't understand the characters much. Coming from the Mandalorian, maybe it's like, oh, I know Ahsoka Tano, see from Mandalorian, but they don't know that, she was Anakin's Padawan. That type of stuff, just explaining a bit more for those people. And not even just those people, people like me who, maybe they've watched Clone Wars maybe once, ages ago, when they were like 10 years ago, 12, 13 years ago, and they forgot about it. And now this is out, and, something to just jog their memory. Like, oh yeah, this is this. Oh yeah, the primordial people, blah, blah, blah. Primordis. I keep saying primordial. Or Mortis. Why am I saying primordials? Mortis. The fuck? What's wrong with me? But yeah. I think that could have definitely helped the show become so much better. Now, when it comes to the fighting's okay. It's alright. It's not like as impactful as the prequels. Prequels swordplay was immense. It was probably the best we've ever seen, like, ever in anything. It's so insane. The speed, the choreography, the pace, the music, everything is just on point. I know people critique the prequels to hell, but if there's one thing you have to give them credit for, is the swordplay, the choreography. They went to town and they really practiced. Disney era, they don't practice it nowhere near as much. they definitely Anakin definitely knows how to use the lightsaber. It was really cool watching him. Ahsoka needs a bit of help. She's okay. It is a bit slow, but she's okay. I mean, yeah, it's nowhere near as fast as it used to be. You know, Baby always talks about this guy. I think is Roy Gilligan or something like that. He definitely needs to come on. I think he would be great actually to help them out. Getting back to really help him out, understand how to use a lightsaber and how to really duel. Because I think, yeah, it just adds to the spectacle. You know, that type of spectacle of a lightsaber fight, which you don't get anywhere else. You know, we need that in Star Wars, and we haven't had that since the prequels. So overall, I think it was a good show. In some parts, great. In other parts, fantastic, absolutely immense. But they didn't really follow up as much as I'd like to. Now, coming into season 2, I don't know if they're gonna do this, but like I'm saying, I just want more dialogue, more clear dialogue as well, and just to be able to understand what the characters want, what their needs are. You know, understand why they feel the way they feel, and not just accept it or just kind of, you know, think in my head, oh, they must feel like this. You know, I want to see it from their expressions, from their tone of voice, from what they're saying, from their aggression, from their anger. You know, I want to see it. Yeah, so that's me for this episode, guys. This video. Now, let me know what you think down below. Yeah, and I will catch you guys next time. See ya.